Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing a sculpted penthouse speed build. So this is part one of the speed build, and if you are interested in it, it is already up on the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. And so yeah, this is a 4-story like gigantic penthouse, and so this is going to be the first part of 2 just because I didn't even want to worry about trying to squish them together into one thing. So that's why that's that. But yeah, in this part we will be doing the overall structure, the kitchen, living room, dining room, the yoga patio, 4th floor bled room. It is the room where I bleed, or where I bled. And then the 2nd floor bedroom and bathroom, or should I say bled room and bathroom. Yes, no. But I am so excited and kind of a little bit hyper because this is the first build that I am doing, or speed build I am doing for City Living, and it is also the first one. Like, the moment I got my hands on City Living, that's when I started building this, and I love it. I love how it turned out. It is a 285,000 simoleon home. It's a 4-bedroom, 6-bathroom on a 40 by 30 lot. But yeah, I am in love with this thing. It took me a little bit of time to get off to a running start, to get going with the City Living stuff pack. I think because I was so overwhelmed and wanted to do a good job using it, and I got a little anxious, but I powered through and we made this. Also, you're probably curious at this point as to why I am not on top of a skyscraper for building this penthouse. And that is because I started building the structure before City Living came out. That way I could get it to you guys that much faster. And so I started building it in, Windenburg, on this lot because it was the correct size I knew the penthouse was going to be, and because I thought it had a nice background that would be similar to that of the penthouse, the skyscraper. And so in a bit I move it to the penthouse lot and I do the coloring, and I think I skipped a little bit of it. But yeah, so like I said, I had a little bit of trouble starting out with the City Living stuff because I have there's stuff I really like about it, and then there's some stuff that I'm just kind of did not hit the mark. And so I basically had to work through all of my emotions on the expansion pack while also trying to do a build, and it was a bit of a train wreck at first, and I cut out a lot of that footage because I was just overwhelmed. I did not know what to do with myself. It was bad. Also, fun fact with this build, so I'm building the structure now, and so after I was done building this overall structure, I realized that I didn't know which direction the screenshot would be taken from. And so here now you see we are in the city building it. It looks so great. But this lot has a sort of swooping side down the side of it, and I didn't know how much that'd be incorporated into screenshots. And so this building is off center, and so I want it to be on the opposite side of that swoopy down section. And I didn't realize, I wasn't sure what side that would be. So I ended up completely inverting the entire lot by hand, and so took a really long time, but it was actually kind of relaxing. And I mean, the entire time I was doing it, I was like, wow, this is really unnecessary. Wow, you probably shouldn't be wasting your time doing this. But I'm glad I did it because it made it so I wasn't anxious about which direction the screenshot was going to be taken from. And I started building this about when I heard City Living was coming out. So I had a lot of time. But yeah, here I am fiddling around with the windows, and I decided to leave that in just because even though it took me a ridiculously long amount of time, I wanted to let you guys see some of the new windows that I use to kind of showcase them. And there aren't that many. Like, that's one of my like pet peeves. Like, I love the windows that they gave us. I love those windows. I don't think, and I love that they come in like different patterns, but I don't think they come in enough sizes. I mean, it's interesting because they're three squares wide, and I was like so surprised. And like pretty much my entire build depended on the windows either being 2 squares wide or 1 square wide for that big of a window. And so I was like a little bit up a creek when it first started, but I figured out how to make it work with the windows not being too like long. But yeah, like I was saying, I do wish that those windows came in the 1 size and the 2 size, and then they also added in some more colorings for those basic sort of big glass windows we got in the base game, but they don't match all of the coloring of the new windows. And so I'm like, well, if you spent the time to recolor and give us more like options for these old windows, why don't they match the new ones? That doesn't quite make sense to me personally, but there's a lot of stuff that happens in The Sims. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, so I am a complainy pants. So if you are absolutely in love with this expansion pack, kudos to you. Like, I am just absolutely like, what's the word? I don't even know what the word is, but I'm definitely a complainy pants. So, but yeah, there are still definitely things I like about this pack, and I am glad that I bought it. But one of the things I really am excited about in this kitchen is we kind of missed the opportunity for me to really like show it to you guys, but the counters on the wall that's facing the pool, they're not connected, and I wanted a way to connect them that wasn't like just straight row of countertops, because I don't really like putting countertops in front of those windows, but windows are there and they couldn't just be empty. So I ended up putting in a new like side table that came with City Living, and I like slotted it in there, and it fits so perfectly and it looks so good. It looks like it's actually supposed to be that way, and so I was really excited about that. But yeah, so like I was saying about like my sort of pet peeves with this is I felt like we did not get nearly enough new build content, but we did get a lot of new buy content. So it's kind of like a disproportionate amount of buyable content as opposed to buildable content, which I think, you know, makes sense. Like, you know, it's not like they've cheated us of our money or anything, but, you know, just as a person who's really into architecture, I was a little bit bummed by how little new like flooring, wallpaper, windows, doors there were. I was a little bit like, but where's the rest of it? But yeah, so I did end up using a lot of stuff from a lot of other like expansion packs, and that's my one thing, like one of my biggest things with this is that I feel like I would not have been able to make this penthouse the way I wanted it to look with just the City Living stuff, and that's a little bit of a bummer. But you know, I will try and do just a City Living and base game build in the future for you guys. For those of you who are just interested in getting the base game and City Living, because not everybody wants to or has the ability to buy all of the expansion and stuff in game packs like I do. The Sims is one of my priorities, so that's where I put some of my money. But yeah, so here I'm doing the living room, and by the way, I always struggle with living rooms. Like, oh my goodness, I feel like I just don't know how living rooms work when I'm laying them out. But yeah, I was also a little bit annoyed because I liked a lot of the new couches, but like I felt like there just wasn't enough continuity. Like I feel like they didn't just go all the way through because a lot of the couches only came in one size, and I personally think that all of the couches should come in 2 versions of a 3-seater and a 2-seater. And then I also think that it would be very nice if they all also again came in a 1-seater, but I can understand why they wouldn't do that for all of the couches. But oh my goodness, I don't like, usually like furniture comes in sets of love seats and like 3-seat sofas, and so just the little things like that annoyed me with this expansion pack. But like I said, I am a Debbie Downer. I am a like Kathy complainer. I don't know. But yeah, so here I'm moving into the 4th floor bedroom, and it just so happened that each floor got 1 bedroom. It was just kind of like what happened. I didn't really plan it that way, but it's kind of nice. And so each bedroom has its own ensuite. So in a way, it's like every single bedroom is a master bedroom, which is nice, except for the 1st floor one only has a single bed instead of a double. So it's not really quite a master, but it's still pretty nice. But yeah, I loved that chalk floor, like carpet art that I put underneath the bed. I think that looks so rad. And yes, I did just say rad. And I did just like croak when I said it, like rad. Rad. Oh my gosh. I need to stop and take a sip of water because that was only half intentional. Okay, I am back from taking my sip of water because like, oh my goodness. I also like, I feel like I start talking faster and faster and faster and faster and faster as I get into my speed builds, because I almost always have so much that I want to say, and especially for like, you know, this new expansion pack that everybody has been waiting for a year, and I've been waiting for a year, like lots to say. But this is another one of my favorite things about this build, and it is the yoga sort of patio area or balcony or whatever. And it would be terrifying to do yoga on this. Personally, I think. But I just thought it was such a cool idea. And I think it kind of reminded me, you know what I think it reminded me of? So in Heroes, this relatively old now TV show, one of the main characters worked in an office building in Japan, and they had like a big balcony on the top of this like skyscraper where they were all doing exercises, you know, to kind of like limber up and make sure they stayed healthy while also sitting at a desk like all day. And so that's what this kind of reminded me of. I always thought that was so cool to have like a rooftop garden or like relaxation area, like adding a bit of greenery. And so that's why this build is so green, and some of the like patios are green, and I really, really enjoyed that. But like I said, it would be utterly terrifying to actually do yoga up there. Probably more terrifying to do something like kickboxing or some other exercise thing, but still pretty terrifying. So here I am moving on to the 2nd floor bedroom, and I am also in love with this one. This one is a bit less sleek like the 4th floor bedroom, and it's more Bohemian, and it's more relaxed, and it's a lot more colorful, different colors, and I really, 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 really can't really say really too much more without being awful, but I really like it. And like I said, like I was just discovering everything in this build, and I was having so much fun, like picking out all of the new stuff. Like I had felt a little bit bored with some of the content in The Sims. Like I felt like I was always using the same furniture over and over again, so it's nice to get some new variety, even if it isn't quite as like, I guess, I don't know. I'm just going to try and not complain, because honestly, complaining isn't all that attractive, and it's not the most fun to listen to. So I will try not to complain too much, but this room is definitely the most eclectic. Like there's that fish tank, there's, you know, that sort of sitting area, there's this wild bed with the chalk pattern flooring. And it has like a crazy color scheme with the reds and the blues and a little bit of purples, and the yellows. And so then I started building this bathroom, and it was sort of inspired by the bedroom. And so I have that red, and then I realized the red also had this sort of yellowy gold color. And I really wanted to capitalize on that. So I did something that I had never done before, I don't think. And I made a bathroom with a yellow theme. And I really am in love with it. And it's supposed to be like a couple's bathroom, which is why there's 2 toilets and 2 showers, and 2 sinks. There's not 2 bathrooms though, but you could add one if you wanted. And I'm not expecting the couples to like be going to the bathroom at the same time, but if they really wanted to, they could. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed part 1. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe, especially if you'd like to be notified as to when part 2 is. I hope you guys are all having a great day. The screenshots are coming up soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!